Alright everybody, welcome to my first Let's Play of Valheim. Excuse me. Now we are starting a new game, and we're gonna start off with getting Alright. Okay. So that is the idea behind. Okay, so I need some more wood and stone. So first thing that I always recommend doing in this game is first food. If you can find it right away, use it. Like, grab it if you can right away. Because at the end of the day, you're going to need this food, and the more of it you have to start out the game, the better. You can go ahead and eat some of those. So that gives us 25 health. So I started with a new character for this world as well. I figured, you know what, if I'm going to do a let's play, let's start with a new character. But first thing that I'm going to do is really kind of focus on gathering wood and some stone to build an axe, to build some sort of a shelter. Is very important. You're only going to be able to survive for so long without that. So really, I think we've got plenty of stone. I'm just looking for wood at this point. So that makes 4, so we need 1 more wood. Once you get once you build the stone axe, this will make a lot of things a lot easier. First of all, gathering wood. Now we're starting out with like the basic level of skill, which is personally is actually quite fun, because you know when you start out brand new and you know what you're doing, it's a lot easier, and that you must be careful of. The trees will kill you, unfortunately. Though I wish they didn't. They do. Now, I think we're gonna break this other tree right here. I'm kind of keeping a lookout for food as well, kind of a two in one. There's a boar here. These 2 boars. So boar meat. We need that. That's valuable. There were 2 boars just a second ago. I think we might have scared off the other one. Oh well. One thing that I do suggest before you kind of get too far into the game, kind of stray away from the Black Forest right at first. It may seem like, oh, you know, that's a real good first thing to do. But there's a lot of things that can kill you very early in the game in the Black Forest. So one of the things that I do like to do with this as I start out is I want to try to find a coastal area to build the base on to start out. And I think we've got one coming up right here, which is good. Good. We're not too far from the shore. Sometimes the altar is really far from the shore, and that's kind of sucks a little bit when you're really far away from the shore. Pick up this flint. We're gonna need that. That's kind of convenient that is right there. Although we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna throw a mushroom. And cannot eat any more raspberries just yet. Trying to think of the best spot to build. So here is the first and frankly the most annoying creature in this game, the Greylings. Now, they do give you resin, which is quite wonderful. I think this is actually a pretty good spot, so I'm going to have to clear out an area here to do this, but I am going to build a small hut here. So you're gonna get action right away from these guys. They're gonna bug you from the start, which I agree it can be rather annoying. Now the wonderful part is, if you don't know what to do, this is why he's here. Like he said at first, I think we're gonna build. I think we're just gonna build right over here. So first thing you need to do in order to build is craft. We have 27 wood. That's not a lot, but is good. Crafting. So we need a workbench. Now you want to kind of do this really early for a couple of reasons. Number one, the earlier you do this, the better, mainly because you're going to need now you don't need a real big hut at first. Just gonna build right here next to this already established building. Oopsies. Alright, so we're gonna have to go grab some more wood real quick. One of the things about this game is you gotta have wood to build in the beginning. Which, you know, makes sense. Put our door here. And then... So, and kind of here's also another thing I gotta fix that. So another thing to remember is in order for these crafting stations to work and to be able to use them, you're going to need to put some sort of roof over it. Now this will provide you with early quite a bit of early security. But it looks like we once again need wood. So we're going to come over here to these 2 trees that we cut down. And we're going to break these apart. The only downside to this primitive axe is what I like to call it. I like to call it the primitive axe. The only downside to the primitive axe is it doesn't last very long. And so you very quickly need to build a crafting area to repair it. Might as well pick up that stone while we're there. Now, as you can tell, I really didn't work too hard on this building. It's really not going to be here for very long. Hopefully. Now, quite literally, I think it may let us use it now. Yes, it will. Crude bow, what do we need? Okay, so we need to kill a couple more boars to do that. Let's go ahead and craft a club just for a little bit of extra protection so that we don't have to use our axe all the time. One thing that I also suggest to you is to put your weapons in your first two slots. It makes it a lot easier if you're getting attacked by something. It makes it really quick and really easy to just pull out the weapon and attack. It looks like something more. I already know all this kind of stuff. So one of the things that kind of made me pick this area is I did see a couple berry areas, like right here. Like I said, any food that you find near your home is going to be valuable either way. You're going to need it. Now, the Hearth and Home update, I'm going to be honest, I'm not huge on it. As you can see there, like the club, it just works a little bit better sometimes, especially, you know, when you're going barbaric move. And like I said, you know, it keeps you from using your axe all the time. Deer, if only you could just walk up to them and kill them. It doesn't really work in this game. You gotta have a bow. So that's obviously kind of the big thing at first is to really, I think killing boars is very valuable in the beginning of the game because you get the leather scraps from them, which allows you to build a bow. One of the things I also always do is set a home point. It looks like he's gonna spawn in here, which is perfect because we're going in here anyway. Now, like I said, this is all temporary. It's not going to be here for very long. Really kind of what you want to do is just kind of build an area where you can kind of start to gather your things, and you know, stuff like this. You know, you don't need to carry that on you all the time. The stone. I do need to build a fireplace. Okay, so crafting, miscellaneous. Need a fireplace. I did not build this house big enough, but that works. And then we are going to go into here, building, actually crafting, and we're going to place that there. Now, this, oops, so you're going to want to cook whatever meat you get early on as soon as possible. This, also you're going to, got to build a roof over this, okay. Now, you do have to be careful, because now you're always going to want to, I always try to keep my fire fully stocked on wood if I can. As you can see, this is a really small building and is not really going to be meant for much more than just a starting point. But we're going to put the other stone that we have in there, and we are going to... Now, this you cannot break with the primitive axe. You cannot break the birch trees, which is unfortunate, but you can't. You have to have the bronze, which is kind of is possible to get right away, but a very risky move to do like right as you start out, because you have to go into the Black Forest to get copper, and then you have to run along the shoreline of the Black Forest to get everything else. To get the tin. So in order to do bronze, you need tin as well. Do not go into the water. Thank you. That's another very frustrating part about this game, is when these logs go into the water, because you cannot really get them in the water, which is rather frustrating. Now, stat-wise, your wood cutting ability is always going to be higher than everything else. Just because in order to survive, got a gray dwarf coming up here. But beat him with the club. Now these greylings, they're kind of wimps. As you can tell, they like run away from you. I do recommend though, kind of as night begins to fall, oh, frame lag, as night begins to fall, I always kind of suggest going and resting. Just because early in the game, it's these creatures will come out more and more early in the game, and during the nighttime they come out quite a bit. And are we going to get anything here? Sometimes good morning. So that would be a negative on that. So we're going to put our flint into there. Also, birch seeds, very important for later in the game. Now, I'm not too concerned about health right now, just for the the sake of sanity. I'm not really going out and fighting anything quite just yet. But to be honest with you, right now, I'm more concerned about building a crude bow. So we are going to go try to find some boars. I'm going to zoom out, makes it a lot easier to find things when you're zoomed out, to be honest. I kind of try to pick up as much stone early in the game as I can. If I see it, I pick it up. That's a valuable commodity to have, especially later in the game. But before we go, You're going to go here and... Oops, I pinged. So we're gonna mark that. It does mark your bed. It looks like we have a boar up here, as well as some more flint. Did we get any? Oh, that's... oh, nope, that's right here. Okay, leather scraps. As you can see, they're just gonna run away from you. Kind of also on the lookout for flint, because it is very useful, and having that is important. There is some more of it right over here. So you're really gonna need to kind of focus on gathering right at the beginning of the game. Gathering commodities of certain things. So I tend to try to kind of stick to a shoreline. I got another. Ooh, got two boars up here. Oh, sneak attack. Nice. Sneak attack. So that is one valuable thing about the boars. Got three. So like I said, we're focusing on getting to that bow. There's some flint right here that we can use, as well as some more stone. So best way to do this is come up, try to sneak right behind the boar, and then get him. Sometimes it doesn't work, like there. It doesn't always work. But, I mean, hey. So we're gathering quite a bit of flint, which is a very good thing. You keep hearing those deers, and you know, like early on, you're like, I really wish, you know, you could, you really kind of hope and, you know, wish that you could, you know, go and kill the deer, but you can't without a bow. And like I said, little bits of food here with these mushrooms. Might as well gather them while we know where they are. This mushroom is being difficult and wants to hide behind the tree. Whoa, where the hell did he go? Oh, there he is. I don't recommend you try to do what I just did. You will. Okay, got a boar trophy. So we got 5 leather scraps. So we're gonna go ahead and start kind of making our way back. We should have enough for a bow now, hopefully. Also, dandelions later in the game are going to be more valuable. Also, when you see these little houses, if there are chests inside of them, go ahead and take what's in the chest. It's basically like free fair game looting. There must be a boar spawn point somewhere. Okay, he's running. He's running. Okay, he's coming back. I did see another boar. Oh, he's over here now. Alright. So we are gathering quite a bit of goods from this trip, and we just found a whole bunch of berries, which is rather fantastic when it comes to food sourcing. Berries are mainly stamina. There are a lot of other things that you're going to need. But what's nice is we really didn't have to stray too far from the homestead really to get what we needed, which is good. Early on in the game, I try not to venture too far at first. I kind of build up my supply as I kind of at that point. Building supply I feel like is better in the early stages rather than, you know, going out and, you know, trying to kill everything. Now we do have to watch out because until we beat the first boss, the forest, go ahead and put that boar meat that we have there. So we're gonna take that, put that away. So we want to cook this meat, and I usually try to build up a stock of meat. These don't give you a lot of health. I mean, 30 health is pretty good. But I try to, depending on what I'm doing, is really really kind of what I judge my food on. When you only have, you know, so much of certain things. Looks like we've got one more boar meat to cook. I'm gonna craft a crude bow. Now this is obviously kind of a point where you're a lot better equipped. Now, to be honest with you, we do really not need 2 of those. So we're gonna make that adjustment real quick. Go ahead and put that back. I'm gonna go ahead and rest one more time. Might as well. Why not? I know it wasn't nighttime yet. Usually I try to rest only when it gets to night, but it does kind of help you push. Yeah, it is not morning time. Or maybe it is. Day 3. So as you can see, the first few days are really kind of gonna fly by pretty quickly. Got a boar here. Might as well kill him for the meat while we can. So my next phase is to gather some wood to build up a stock of arrows. Which realistically, look, you're going to need arrows. If you have a bow, obviously you're going to need arrows. So that's kind of the next phase. Once you have the bow, I try to really kind of focus on building up ammunition. And once you, I mean, you're never really going to have, you know, a full everything. Go ahead and repair while we're back. But we are going to... Didn't get a lot of wood from that, but we did get ourselves up to 40 arrows. Now, once you have arrows, the game becomes a lot easier. It's a lot safer once you have arrows to kind of start venturing further away. You have a better defense mechanism. I do suggest that you don't use a bow as a primary weapon. As you can see, I have my club set as my primary weapon, which I feel like is the best way to do it. I mean, it's crude, it's easy, but I think at this point I'm going to focus in on building a more suitable and sustainable home that will last me longer. We're going to start cutting down trees, and yeah, that's usually kind of how this starts off. You got to cut down a whole bunch of trees in order to build.